Hello everybody, welcome to the Ordeals of Livistio, session 20. Facilitators, we're down 2 people, oh no.
We are.
Yes, it is a busy weekend for Henrietta as well as Corin, who cannot make it this session. And we pray they will watch the VOD. Unlike someone who has some explaining to do. Jeff, how was your weeks, man? Tell the stream!
Ooh, hello stream, I got a new job, so that's why I couldn't get to the VOD, because, I was pretty busy trying to switch jobs, but now I got a new job.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna make things way easier for me.
Well, in the long run it might make
that.
things easier, but in the short run, you're still doing the recaps. Greg, how was your week, man?
It was okay. I didn't get as much done as I probably needed to at the end of the month here to get ready for like end of second quarter reports and stuff. So I'm looking at probably a pretty busy July 4th like week/weekend coming up. Which is a bit of a bummer. But otherwise okay. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I see you've been getting ready for your Mist West March game.
I've been misting a little bit, yeah.
Been misty. Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly ready to go. I want to do some touch-ups on the back end. I'm taking a look at this week. But I've got it basically playable, and I've got character sheets up for people to start making characters. I saw somebody doing like a character creation stream, which was unexpected but fun, and that I may have popped into and annoyed everyone with my I don't know, lording over their roles, but it should be ready to go. I have to hopefully we'll be after July 4th able to open up scheduling for the first games. I gotta make sure that I'm not needed to like drive people to and from the hospital or whatever, etc. So my schedule has to kind of make sure it's remains clear, but we're heading towards getting it started.
Hell yeah, man. Red, how's your week been, man?
You know, not too bad, not too shabby. Just been a simple week. Nothing super eventful happened.
Okay.
It's a normal time.
Uneventful is usually good. How about you, Rube? How was your week?
I had the opposite of Red. I had a horrible start to the week and it ended great. Some kids threw a rock through my front bedroom window.
Oh,
no!
Right? And then got that all taken care of. Got new cameras. And then last night I got to see Hauser in concert in Oakland. So, good week.
I'm gonna need a like breakdown on Hauser, right? This is the first I've heard of them, and I need to like understand.
It's a cello guy who plays like classical and then contemporary music, and it's like Hauser, like Hauser.
Okay.
And it was great. He did the Game of Thrones soundtrack, Pirates of the Caribbean, Living on a Prayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Very nice.
So,
very nice.
Good time. Good week.
Well, guys, as per our tradition of, what do you call it? Hazing, harassing, bullying the guy who wasn't here last week, like we will be doing to Corin and Henrietta, we go to Jeff for our recap. Now, Jeff has the extreme disadvantage of not watching the VOD. However, we will still be judging him on how close he got. So, Jeff, what do you think happened last session?
Let me get the vibe of the Roll20. I see a big map. Okay.
Big map.
I see a tiny little purple cross. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, my guess is that the team traveled through the Hello Fiddle Step to get to Brenyo, Then, after a short rest, not mechanically, just a rest that wasn't very long, they went to Minority.
Wow, they just took the tour, huh? I like where you're at, but maybe I'll jump to, Rube, did you do it last time?
I did do it last time in a Cajun accent. I think someone else.
Oh, that's right. I remember. He turned into the. Oh God, I was making a reference and it was really funny. It's a movie reference. It's got James Bond in it, but he's a detective. Anyway,
I'm gonna roll a dice to see who's really doing the recap. Greg, it's you!
I was doing my best Beignon Blanc.
Yes, thank you. It would have been really funny if I'd have gotten there. All right, so we opened up last session after having arrived in the city known as Lower Rien at the foot of the Tower of Rien. And we questioned our previous liaison to the area about his dealings in the city. His name, D.F. Humphrey, of course. We cannot forget the D.F. Humphrey. He basically just gave us a rundown of stories about the sorceress and the refugees from Nyord and the 3 pillars of the city. So then I made the grand decision as prince to go accost the labor union representative to try to demand that he help me because I didn't think we could just walk up to the tower and say, hey, I'd like to see the sorceress, so that worked about as well as you would expect a prince accosting the labor union rep would go. And then we begrudgingly made our walk over to the tower to be like, well, I guess we'll see if the sorceress is home. And her man, Bassy, decided to just hand us a free invitation. He's just like, hey, the sorceress wants to see you. Everything's really easy, actually. You're overthinking everything. Come see my magic show, also the sorceress. So we were captivated by a brilliant magic show that ended in a stabbing, and then we all got turns discussing various things with the sorceress. She seems very uninterested in helping anyone in the war and very uninterested in getting invaded. And so we basically said, yeah, we're not going to do that, and dipped. And now we're trying to make the plan to create a little mini militia of Nyordian refugees to maybe sink some ships. I don't know. We'll figure out how that goes.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna jump right in here and remind everyone that it is currently the 19th of March, and one of you. Well, let's talk about what happened to Felix. Honestly. Felix, your bones had been stretched out, making you T-pose like in a scarecrow. And suddenly your joints, they're coming back in. Oh, you can move, you can breathe. You intake air, your camera cuts out, and you die for a moment. Your 2 companions, Ursale and Yonsei, go unblinking keel over as their knees weld together as they are now stricken by the T-posing curse. Felix, you are in the Tower of Rien currently. Your party is on their way out when the thought occurs to you that you might have questions for the super sorceress at the top of the tower. Specifically related to a cursed ring on your hand.
Yeah, that was what I was going for, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I'll give it a little visit, just an innocent little visit, just before I join the rest of the group. So, I'll go visit the sorcerer, if I'm allowed to. If no one's stopping me?
Very good. I don't think anyone's stopping you.
Your time.
In fact, I think your party are frozen so that you can catch up in the timeline with them, honestly.
We're just enjoying Seabass's magic show so much. We had to get a second viewing of it.
Yeah, let me quickly describe Seabass, the elf servant slash dog-like being, who is super proud of his sleight of hand, which is a -1. And he's like, quickly, pick a card! Pick a card! And he shows you, or had showed you, where the free water fountain is. It is a water fountain that creates water. It's like a, a beautiful little thing.
Specifically, it's his favorite one, which implies that he has a least favorite free water fountain.
Yes. There's one somewhere in the city that the kids piss in, and he's like, oh, that one tastes awful. Don't go there. But as you head up the flight of stairs, which goes all the way to the top of this tower... I
was going to swim in that fountain, actually.
Felix, we're going to fast forward you up the 20-minute walk that is climbing up this set of imposing stairs. You head all the way to the very top of this tower, where you will see several panes of glass sort of centered around a archway that has a door within. This archway is unsupported by any wall or anything like that, and as you view out the glass, we're going to say it's close to sunset currently, when you do... ... What do you do, Felix?
But I guess I'll knock on the door.
Yeah, you knock on the door. And unlike everyone else who tried to open it quite forcefully, you will feel it begin to open.
You guys have no manners.
You're invited in, okay?
Everyone just pushed it open, or it was already open.
We have no manners. This is true.
The door opens, I believe, inward. No, outward. Yes, outward. And before you is a beautiful little atrium garden with several different mirrors placed up upon the top dome. The room is about 20-foot radius. It is spherical or half spherical in nature, and there is a sound of buzzing insects that you hear within. Directly in front of you, maybe 15 or so feet in front of you, there is a small garden set with a woman waiting by, playing with jars of honey, sort of organizing them like a Jenga tower as a way of killing time, waiting for you to clamber up a massive set of stairs, and a chair before her.
I believe I was awaited, if there is already a chair.
Yes.
I say inquisitively.
Oh. The woman, you know how these elves be with their maturation and then their sort of static looks until they suddenly decide they're old. Points for you to come in. Beckons you into her domain.
But of course, I will oblige and join her.
You do so, feeling the displacement of air as it gets about 10 degrees warmer immediately. Hopefully in Fahrenheit and not in Celsius, as you're just scorched.
Because I'm just...
To be fair, a tiefling should probably be resistant to that change in degrees.
Very true, very true. The
tieflings are going to rule the world after global warming.
That's the plan.
You head on in, the door shutting behind you, feeling a bit warmer as you sit down before this aged sorceress, Rien, for what the tower and the town are named after. Let's change the music from absurdly loud to interrogation room. She stares at you for a minute, Felix, in just dead silence, studying you, eyeing you, and looking at the ring upon your finger, John coughs out loudly before Rien speaks. Your companions told me that you were cursed.
Sadly, appears I've been, yes.
I see. I assume you wish to be rid of this curse.
It's the main reason of my visit.
And here I thought you were accompanying my kinsman.
Well, my main goal remains the protection of the prince, but I would also like to remove the curse from my finger, yes.
Well, let me see it, and I shall identify it to the best of my ability.
The only thing in my mind right now, as she looks at the ring, is just Nefru. Just like, I swear, if she says anything about like ancient poetry, I'm gonna get mad.
She says nothing, save for the arcane language she uses to invoke the Identify spell, which, it is a curse, predictably fails. Or rather, only tells her of a +1 bonus that you were to receive upon wearing and attuning to this ring. After that, she will physically study the item, look up at you after a moment, and investigate before casting another spell. Where did you acquire this ring?
It was gifted to me from, let's say, a competitive party.
Do they have a name?
Yeah, sure do. I just about to.
They sure do, but not anything I want to tell you.
Let me just get through my nose.
I'll wait.
Saffron Malrot, if you're looking for her name.
Thank you so much.
You're
Because I
welcome.
know I have it somewhere, but
I just wanted to see your struggle, okay?
yeah. Oh, of course you do. You like
+1
that, don't you?
loyalty for Greg the person, as he helps his party member out. Felix, you name Saffron Malrot as you hear the prince name her in the back of your head.
I remember now.
Yes, my kinsman described it, or described her, and questioned me of her name. She is the one that gave you this.
Yes.
Well,
I do believe she wanted to use it as a... Well... without playing too much on the words, I suppose pressure point, to make sure that I might join our cause.
I see.
Thing is, the damn thing has been crushing my finger ever since I've been calling to my hellish abilities.
That would make sense, for the curse inlaid is fiendish in origin. I even recognize the hand that wrote this. As John does something on the back end. Where the hell is it? There we are. Before you is the, or a binding script of the Slaves of Therio. It is a demonic cult that often exchanges physical and martial power for the loss of one's sanity or free will. The one who gifted you this ring wishes to make you a dog.
Yeah. I believe that was the message.
Excuse me. Well, there is hope. Normally, these curses are the easiest to break. However, when a curse is forcibly broken, it can lead to devastating effects occasionally. It is why I have not just casted the spell that would remove it. I must warn you that there could be side effects for removing this ring.
And what kind of effects would we be talking about?
Well, the boon that it is giving you is martial in origin. Other than removing that boon, it could also affect some other property that a martial character, she speaks in arcane, also known as metagame, might find detrimental.
So what you're saying is either I keep this ring and suffer its effects, or I accept to risk, at least, to cripple my ability to fight.
Yes. Until you are restored, anyway. That power I do not possess. But a cleric or a master of restorative properties might be able to recover what might be lost when we break this curse.
I see. And I'm debating right now if I should like break the curse right now, or if I should wait. I'm thinking of waiting, to be honest.
If so, know that my door is open. Let me cough real quick. These curses are often, I wish to call them performative, almost. They have qualifiers they need to strengthen. You must rely on them more to have it dig into you. But although my door will be open to attempt to remove this curse at a later date, the longer you take, the more likely it will be for me to, or for there to be consequences if I were to remove this. If you wish to take a day and confer with your friends, I will still be here.
It won't be necessary. I will. I will seek no more consequences, nor effects. For we will remove this curse right now.
As you say. Please follow me. And she will stand up and head to the door.
And I will follow, of course.
Yeah. You follow. Excuse me. She will take you by the hand to a ledge that leads down to the staircase, where you can see that over 1,000 feet below you is the bottom floor. You look at her for a moment as she takes your, uncursed ring hand, and she says, "Follow me. There is a magical platform to my hidden anti-curse room."
Okay.
And she sticks a foot out over the edge, waiting for you to do the same.
Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
We must do it together. Come on now. Don't be
Why?
afraid. Don't be a sissy.
How the fuck did you just call me?
You heard me. You heard me. You see her, smile grow increasingly large. And she's essentially trying to make you jump off. It's landing with her.
If I removing the curse, you mean dying? That wasn't in my plans.
No. You won't die. Probably. Unless the curse kills you.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll do it.
Based as hell. Honestly, Felix. You step off the ledge with the sorceress and fall, plummeting down 600 feet. Straight down. When she casts Slow Fall on you both, and while you are falling at a 60 foot per 6 second rate, essentially parachuting down, every one of your party members looks up, except for the two T-posing people who can't move their necks. Watch as Felix is falling with the sorceress, who casts Remove Curse on you. Her secret chambers being gravity and the literal space between her and whatever might try to catch up to her. You want to roll the D100, or do you want me to?
You know what? I'll do it.
Alright, what is your charisma score?
It might be something like 12, I guess. Let me check. It's 10, actually. Not 12, 10.
Oh, perfect. I need you to roll me a 1D100, and if you roll a 1 through 50, we're gonna have some fun. So... Hey, there you go.
Hey, guys.
You land
Oh!
as the ring begins to unfurl, unlatch, and pop off of your hand. The barbed wired ring quickly recoils back into itself as though it is the thing that you had originally put on. You are no longer attuned to it either. Congratulations, as she catches it mid-air and lands beside you. With a oof! Oh, my knees! Ow! Oh, hello.
You could have just taken the stairs.
No.
I agree, that was way cooler.
Far easier. Well then, I've delivered you your friend uncursed and unmutilated.
Thank you. Were
You're
you
welcome.
cursed? The first Glynis has heard.
Oh,
of the
did
curse.
I out you? I'm so sorry. She says, I have to go.
She just flies back off the tower.
Yeah, she does reverse feather fall, and
She just reverses gravity, but only for her.
yeah. The sorceress quickly
Hey,
levitates
Glynis.
upstairs. Seabass
You know,
stunned.
it's taken care of.
How you doing?
Well, both better and worse than I was a moment ago, apparently.
Yeah. Good news. I'm not cursed anymore.
That is good news.
Yes, remember that that elf lady, you know, the one with
One
the-
you just talked to?
not that one, the
Blew
other
up?
one. Not
Oh,
The one with the-
Lady Sephrin,
Queen?
yes.
the one who made you an offer about working for her, yes?
Yeah, about that offer. Well, I believe, and honestly, I'm kind of flattered, but I think she was trying to steal me from you.
Oh,
Yeah, and it appears that the ring she gave me, if at first I thought this ring was simply, you know, an honest gift, a way for me to better serve you, it appears that it was actually cursed. And yeah, she. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but she was trying to make me her dog, I guess.
oh. Well, we can't be having that.
Nope.
Well, you know, all's well that ends well. The good news here is you're uncursed. We'll just put this one behind us.
Yeah. I'll make sure to inform you the next time I learn about.
I would appreciate that. Yeah, it's
Something.
it's helpful to know.
I didn't want it to, you know, create drama. We already had so much on our plate with the court and what was happening.
Oh, well, you know, I do appreciate that, but you know, curse is something probably we should know about.
Yeah.
You know, as a party. But
I mean, I
My
knew.
apologies.
wait, you knew too.
Shut up. Shut up. I mean,
I was like, yeah, I knew too. And I was just like, what's wrong with you?
I needed, you know, to
Me
make
too,
sure.
cousin.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna, you know, put you in danger, so I asked Snefru to check it, which she did. Expertively, didn't you? Snefru?
I think we should go.
Probably yes, yes.
I am sure you were in expert hands with our soon-to-be court wizard.
Sure was.
Just in the future, I would like to be informed of curses, you know, but let's head out.
The six of you head on out as Seabass locks the door behind you, as any good servant would. It is
Excellent.
currently early evening in the early spring. You see the city before you, knowing that potential enemies lay somewhere inside of here. So I ask you, party, where do you go?
Well, there's like 4 of us. I don't think we're gonna want to fight the enemies right now.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about fighting in the streets of Rian. Would be quite a breach of contract with the sorceress, should we be assaulted. Perhaps even war-losing maneuver to put such a powerful ally on our side. I think we could move fairly unfettered. With that said, we did learn of a number of shanty outside of the lower city. Perhaps should pay them a visit and see if they would be amenable to perhaps joining our cause.
Would that only happen to me? We all
Yeah, we
Okay.
all. Yeah.
heard everything except for the beginning of that. Beginning of that unscramblable had you lagging
Oh?
incredibly hard. Everything else, like city
Was
wise, yeah, no clue what really we're trying to do at this city.
I mean, I guess we're trying to recruit someone. Just didn't
Yeah,
hear
but-
who.
So we learned of a group of Nyordian refugees that live in a shanty outside of the city
Okay.
of Lower Rian.
Mhm.
I think we should make a stop by and see if they're amenable to joining our cause.
Okay. You head north outside of Lower Rian, where you will find a tent city of sorts. There are very few fortified structures here, or any real structures. It's mostly just canvas that is set up on higher ground so that in the rain they do not get flooded. The stars come out after your little travel up here, and you head towards the only real fortified encampment, which is a tent with a fence around it. This fence is about 7
Sick.
feet tall.
Fancy.
Yes.
Whoa, expensive fencing.
Yeah, 7 feet tall. Pretty good. It's like, 80 to 90 planks, which is cool. You're not sure where they got the wood.
For a shanty town, yeah, somebody's rolling in copper.
And you head to this, instinctively knowing someone's rolling in copper over there. They're the shock collar. You head on over and immediately hear a few voices in disagreement of, "We need to burn Brenyo to the ground if we have any chance of killing them." One guy's just furiously saying, another calmer voice is going, "No, we cannot set fire to Brenyo. They will burn all of the countryside down in retaliation." It's like, it doesn't matter. They burned us already. Getting more and more visibly upset, before he's like, "Oh my goodness, go drink some water, cover your voice, and let cooler heads prevail, man."
I think we'll find friends here.
We do like fires.
I do.
You watch as the angriest gnome in the world storms out, his voice way deeper than it likely should be. He already has a torch lit in hand, as though he was about to go to Brenyo this moment. And also, he had a lit torch in a tent.
This seems like a common thing for the small folk in our world. I spent some time with a dwarf that just had no chimney for his fire. I may or may not still be suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning.
He looks up to you guys, this angry gnome, and who are you? Are you Nyordians?
No, good gnome. My name is Glynis Marchette, Crown Prince of Livistio.
Oh,
These are
Crown
my
Prince, huh?
retainers and advisors. Yes.
Wow. And he looks to Snefru and gasps. He speaks in Gnomish. "Cousin, is what this man say true? He's an actual prince? Or is he a liar like all the tall folk?"
I will respond in common. My prince is the very best of the tall folk, and you could trust him.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Can't trust a tall man. He started speaking in common. "As far as you can throw him." So the first half was just in pure gnomish. He looks to you all like, "Well, I'm not in charge. I've been made aware. So I gotta go. But..." And he narrows his eyes. "Tell me if you want to burn shit down." Goes away from you.
I smile at him and I say, perhaps you and I are of amenable causes after all. And then I will stride past him towards the entrance to the tent.
Yeah.
The prince means you're cool.
I'm the opposite of cool. I'm hot. He heads on in. Or he heads out to the rest of the shanty town, where you enter this tent and see a human male of tall complexion. I mean, pale complexion and of tall. He's tall. He's a tall guy. All right. He's my husband. All right, in real life. All right, this guy quickly states,
Husbando.
I'm Ricardo now. I had a different name, but oh, hello. I am Ricardo.
Greetings, Ricardo. I am Glynis Marchette, Crown Prince of Livistio. These are my advisors and retainers. I have heard tale while in the city of Nyordian refugees escaping the impoundment of impressment of their people to the Nyordian armies. I was hoping that perhaps we might be able to see some common ground.
I hope so. Yes, everything you say is true. We are the displaced peoples of the free settlements that bordered Nyord. But many, and I mean many, have been put to service in the name of King Mayon Velvig, the bastard that he is. It seems that there is a political struggle afoot, and he and his children need more manpower for their projects.
This is true. It seems succession is on the minds of our rivals. They intend to see a successor named through the conquering of my kingdom. I was hopeful that perhaps amongst you we might be able to find some sort of revenge or perhaps resistance to their efforts. My intel gathers that they will sail their army down this river past Rien. It was my hope, perhaps, that men such as yourselves might be interested in perhaps stopping that or slowing it at the very least. I have spoken with the laborers' union, and I intend to speak with the other pillars of Rien, but it came to my mind that perhaps it is the people themselves from the borders of Nyord that might be best positioned to come to our aid here.
Had we the material, you might find many with the will. But we have no boats. We have nothing to our names. We live off the charity of the sorceress in her tower and the townsfolk here.
If I were to procure you boats, if I were to procure you supplies, or even perhaps jobs, would you perhaps be able to rally those here of, I don't know, violent persuasion? I saw a gnome that I think might be particularly successful on the way.
Yes. Well, he's a bit of an arsonist. By trade, I'm told.
I think I'm related to him.
Cousins?
I don't know. I have a lot of family.
I judge not. He wished to attack Brenyo and burn their fields and harm their people through starvation.
That seems ill-advised.
I concur. There is, of course, well, yes, I can speak with everyone here, honestly. They have made me their interim leader for the present situation
Excellent.
we all suffer from. You will find
Tell
many
me.
who wish to hurt the Neordians here.
Excellent. Tell me then, sir. Beyond boats, which both you and I believe, had on our mind, what needs have you? What can I do to make sure that you are properly ready for what is to come?
Well, in truth, we have the will, but we don't have the material, nor do we have the experience. Most of us are plains dwellers. We lived in the Elithil steppe. We will happily get on a boat to crush the skull of a Neordian, but in water, I doubt we will be able to swim. We would need someone to teach us how to fight.
I see. A teacher, materials, and boats?
Boats?
I will see what I can do. I am sure I can absolutely find you the boats. I am sure that I can find materials or perhaps even purchase them myself for you. I have gifts that were to be made to the tower, but it seems they might not be of need. Perhaps they can go to your people instead.
Oh.
Food, finery, perhaps not needed, but it might be welcome nonetheless. As far as teaching you, I doubt I can save one of my retainers or myself. I must return to Livistio in preparation, but I will look for whom I can.
About that, before you move on,
Yes.
we obviously would not be able to stay here in Rien if we wish to fight the Neordians. The sorceress would obliterate us with her giant laser beams attached to the top of her tower.
This is true. She said as much herself. However, she is... surprisingly, yes, I thought it would be a much more difficult task, but
yes.
She seemed ready to speak with myself and my counterpart from the Nyord.
I just nodded.
Oh, interesting.
There seems to be a settlement, or perhaps not a settlement, but a camp of a Neordian make some miles to the north of here. The sorceress does not seem keen on blasting them out of the sky as long as they stay away from the city itself. Perhaps a similar encampment, or perhaps a replacement of that one. If we were to assault it even successfully, I am sure armies would descend upon its position. But perhaps we can find a similar concept for you and your people off of the island itself. I could acquire perhaps a trade of some kind that would see you fed by the people of Lower Rien. Find you the supplies that you are needed. And from there, stage your mercenary.
That would work for us. It would be an easy sell, I should say. Is there...
May I?
Yes, go
Prince,
for it.
may I ask a few questions?
Yes.
You need not ask permission of me.
How many people are currently in this refugee
roughly 600, mostly young men who escaped. It is common practice for the Nyordians to kill young and able-bodied men so that they will not be a threat to them, and leave behind those who can be productive, or, a non-threat.
Would it not be simpler just to have some of these men come straight to Livistio to train there?
We could train them and add them to our army, but it is not the size of our army that worries me. It is the path of the ships through this water. My father, the king, has ordered them slowed. If I cannot rely on the sorceress to do so, perhaps we can find common ground with those who are enemies of Nyord to help us in this path.
Oh, that's an interesting point you make, Dizem. We could petition Killigan to come up here and assist in training these guerrilla fighters.
Sir, I'm a human, not an ape.
Oh, it's a term of warfare, you see, where you would hit and then disappear back into the woods.
Yes, guerrilla fighting.
Or the waterways.
How all gorillas fight in the jungles of the south.
I see that you are a gentlemanly warrior. Unfortunately, times such as these might call for ungentlemanly warfare.
Well, it's Rock and Banana. I will fight. He swears.
Excellent. I am glad to have made your acquaintance. Let me spend some time speaking with the Pillars of Rien and see if we can leverage the resources here. If not, I will make use of my contacts in Livistio. We will find a common purpose, I am sure. I am glad to make your acquaintance. I am sorry, but I did not catch your name.
Well, my name used to be McCrow, but now it's Ricardo.
Oh, that's right, Ricardo.
Yes.
Ricardo, I am happy to make your acquaintance, and I look forward to speaking with you again with more certain terms. I will hopefully be back with news within the week, if not much sooner. I must now speak with the Pillars of Rien.
He will say his farewells, and we'll leave you to it.
All right. So, party, as we leave and kind of convene. I understand the benefit of sending Killigan Pharos up here, but I think that as he is in charge of our river protection and is likely at the command of my father, I don't think it would be possible to have him come himself. Much less, I think the timing might be wrong. We are quickly approaching the thaw. We do know for a fact there are pirates in this area, and even perhaps a criminal organization of some kind. I doubt it exists, but we might be able to make contact with somebody of capability inside the docks. I'm wondering if perhaps finding an amenable one to our cause might be more beneficial.
Well, I just thought of the bandit who I flipped over in the air the other day.
Yeah.
If we could reach out to them.
I had this plan with a bow shot and a note, but we ended up talking with them a lot, and I don't know where they are or how to reach them. So maybe they'll land in the port, like some odd convenient coincidence, but maybe we are more likely to find some other rapscallion that we can train to our cause.
Okay, so I'm adding the notes, Your Highness. Look for Rapscallion.
Indeed.
Talk to Pillars. I would say it's getting late in the day. We might send a letter to the Pillars, seeing a meeting for the morrow.
Sure. A letter to the Pillars makes sense. I would like to speak with the shipwrights, of course. Perhaps the labor union once more, and
There's the agriculture as well.
Oh, sure. That's probably better than the labor union. The agricultural and those who shall not be named.
Yes.
Of dubious existence.
And to talk to all of them at once or individually?
Perhaps individually. It might be a full day on the morrow. You know, it is getting late, and we are on a dock city. Anyone fancy a trip to a hell?
A trip to the what?
To a hell. A bar. Is this an unfamiliar term? A hell is considered a low-class bar where there's violence and people of dubious natures. So I thought this was common parlance. Perhaps I have been reading too many fantasy novels in my chambers at night.
I'd be happy to accompany you, Your Highness. Let me just pin those invitation. Dyza makes a good point. We could have all the Pillars come and meet you.
I worry that it would require some politicking that might require favoring or jilting perhaps another pillar, and I would hate to be faced with making not an enemy per se, but making that harder by showing that publicly to all of them. I think perhaps individual dealings might benefit us for the purposes of getting them on our side.
Excellent point. Well, I'd be happy to accompany you to a hell. And back, of course.
I do intend to return, yes.
I thought I would be an expert on the subject, but it appears we're speaking of something different. No, but I will be. I'm willing to follow as well.
Tieflings actually just really good bar hoppers.
Dyson, are you ready to go to the bad end of town, where taverns throw down with anyone willing to get involved?
I've been with worse. Yeah, why not?
Okay. You all say goodbye to Ursale and Yancey, who get out of the narrative scene and head back to the inn for their own reasons. You four head...
Ursale and Yancey write the letters.
Ursale is just saying, like, this is how you write. He just has no idea.
We could definitely trust Yancey with such a task.
There you go.
Absolutely.
We need to have a scene with them opening on how they write letters on the next time. The four of you head to the quote-unquote hell, which I'm not sure is a thing that Greg's pulling on me, or if he's just declaring lore to be made, and this is what they're called in the world.
No, I've heard it before.
It is a term in high fantasy. I remember encountering it the first time in the Chronicles of Amber. But in a certain age of fantasy writing, this is a thing. I'm not completely just making shit up.
Well, it's also a biker term.
It is a biker term, I think. Actually, that might be where
it's a Hell's Angel and Bandito term.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do love the Banditos, as they say. The four Banditos...
But not the Hells Angels, fuck them.
No comment. The four Banditos, known as Snefru, Dizem, Glynis, and Felix, head down to this hell And before we take our first break, I want to know what preparations you guys make, because currently you look like a nobleman's party, which likely will not pass the doorman.
Ooh. Roll in the
Perhaps
dirt.
we roll in the dirt. We just take silk clothes and roll them in the dirt.
Prestidigitation does say soil, so maybe I could.
You just
Well,
cover
we can
yourself
definitely-
in shit.
We can soil ourselves, or perhaps maybe we throw some coin at the market before it closes. Just get some like commoners' clothes.
Or
Yeah.
in like the refugee area right now. You can pay anyone like a gold and they'll give you whatever they own.
Honestly, yeah.
Give me your shirt.
I
you
find
say
the
to a man.
arsonist. I find the arsonist and buy an extra set of his clothes.
You want to buy
What if I
clothes?
traded clothes? Would somebody like to trade clothes with a prince? They could have like the
Oh.
prince's like tunic
Oh,
and
yeah, for
breeches
sure.
or whatever.
They would
Oh, yeah,
immediately
yeah.
resell them. Yeah, that's worth a lot of money.
I do that. I find someone roughly Glennis's size, and we do like a jersey trade, right?
Yes.
Like-
You find Singlieg.
Yes, me and Singi, we go way back.
It's true. You exchange clothes with a poor refugee / peasant. Felix, what about you? Do you denigrate yourself to such lowly behavior to change your attire?
I'm willing to change my attire, but I am not giving out my outfits. Like, I'm keeping it. I'll have it into a bag or something, but I'm not giving it to anybody.
Based.
Besides the prince, I think the rest of us can go to a washwoman and buy clothes from her.
Fair.
I don't look
You-
that fancy. I'm just wearing like a cloak made of
Yeah,
seaweed.
Dyson's
I
fine.
look
Dyson's
Fancy,
Yeah,
I just
okay,
wear
you're
cleric
good.
vestments.
You're good.
yeah, I'm just a priest, okay?
Holy men
His
go
cleric
into
vestments
hells
are-
all the time.
We need a break too sometimes, okay?
It's where they proselytize.
Let me help you, my son.
Have you heard of the loving embrace of the mother?
Okay. We will take our break right now, and when we come on the other side of it, we will go and visit a tavern for rumors and potentially a brawl. We will see you guys here in a minute. Woo!
We see
Hello, everyone. We are back after that little break on our river town. You guys have changed clothes and are making your way downtown, rolling past. No, that's not the lyrics.
Going
Regardless,
fast.
yes, you make your
Are we
way
homebound?
into the Homebound, the tavern that many a water-traveling pioneer goes to get drunk, shoot the shit, play some dice games, and whittle the night away. You head on in. There is a doorman outside that looks to be like 700 pounds. He is far too wide to be anything but supernatural. Of maybe half ogreish descent. Just, he didn't inherit the height of an ogre, but definitely the weight and appetite.
I mean,
This-
honestly, a like 6'5", 700-pound person would be super intimidating. Like, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, he can easily
Yep.
take up the entire door, but none of you look fancy. None of you are too armed. Glynis doesn't even need a sword to be effective if he wishes to obscure that. Felix has a little duelist blade. Snefru, are you wearing your brimmed
Dick.
hat?
It's inverted.
It's
Wait, is it a cone hat instead? Or is it...
Stefru. I guess I stopped. He had Yonsei take it back to the room. He's not wearing his hat.
Okay. Yonsei is wearing your hat. Let's be real.
Beyonce's
right?
wearing the hat for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have my stick. I mean, my wand.
So
Okay.
that's what the top of your skull looks like.
We've never seen that before.
Yeah, I mean that's new. Like,
And Dysum has his
It's-
holy symbol. So none of you are too terribly armed. And he just points out as you enter, no fighting. No fighting.
Thank you, Wyclef.
don't want to.
No fighting, indeed.
Shakira, Shakis. You enter the Podunk Bar, close to the edge of the river. There's too many seagulls in the soundtrack. We need a different song. Different ambience,
We know which song to
please.
play. There's a bard in the corner, and his hips don't lie.
You enter this rather packed establishment where you see many a riverboat trader, DM Humphrey, who is currently shooting the shit after you guys left to speak with the local witch / sorceress, who was quite taken aback by the fact that well, maybe not actually. I'm gonna give him a perception check here to see you guys.
Does he even recognize us?
He doesn't recognize you guys. I mean, Dysum's very recognizable, let's be real. But he doesn't pay attention to the individual Dragonborn as he enters the room. He seems to be in talks with some local halfling. You're unsure who they might be. Yeah, this place has like 40 or 50 patrons sort of packed arm to arm. Some are coagulated around tables where they're like shouting at people playing dice. There is a card table in the back of the room which has a couple of different bouncer types keeping any spectators at bay who can read the hands and call out what people have. They're just, barman with drinks, passing them out, exchanging copper, silver for alcohol. Local performers are playing in the back, asking for tips.
I think a chance to find the men we are looking for might be better, or might be increased by separating out and mingling. If you wish to come with me, I will be at the card table. Otherwise, enjoy your night, men. And I swish over to the card table to join a game.
Yeah, you-
Actually,
Okay.
Oh, I have money. Okay, we're fine. I thought for just a moment I might not have any money.
Yeah, if you have no
But I'm
money,
okay.
you're gonna be in a bad spot. There's a 10 gold
Yeah.
buy-in.
Oh, I can't play cards then.
Oh.
It's too rich for me.
Treat for the
I get turned away from the card table and I
You
I
want
go
to
buy a
spot you
beer
10 gold?
instead.
You need us to spot you gold, Your Highness?
I can spot you 10 gold right now.
Maybe we keep the Your Highnesses down inside the bar, but yes, I could definitely use some gold. That would be much appreciated.
I'll spot him 10 gold.
I'll spot him another 10.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Don't worry, me.
As you were
Just
doing
gonna
this
go.
in front of people, like, at first they thought it was like the Your Highness, the joke of, like, he's the one that looks like the poorest of you all. Literally the rags of a refugee. It's like, oh, it's ironic. And then you give him 20 gold, and one guy who sees this is like, what the hell? You have the
I give
card
him
table?
a very comical wink. And he says, and I'm like, "Oh, Prince of the Paupers, here we come!" And I like jaunt my way back to the card table.
The guard who initially turned you away is like, alright. And you can take a seat at the card table. Where is everyone else going?
I'm looking for other little folk to pretend to imbibe with, but talk to, really.
Okay. Dyson, Felix?
I guess I'll try to find a table, not too far from the gaming table, but just
Keep an
sitting.
eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll go sit at the bar itself. I like try to talk to the barkeep.
For sure. Why don't we pay for drinks now, or pay for play in the bar, just as a fun little game. What, or rather, how much are you all going to be spending here on drinks alone?
How much?
One glass of grog. I'm not even gonna drink. I'm gonna pretend to sip.
Alright.
Yep.
I don't know if you have smaller... Do you even have silver on you, Snapper?
I have 4 copper, 9 silver, and 46 gold.
Alright, pay 1 silver and 2 copper. Expensive drinks
Got it.
tonight. It's a busy day. There's a war brewing, they tell you. People may need to be getting out of town.
Okay, paid.
Dope.
I'll do the same.
Alright.
I'm gonna spend the 10 gold buy-in, and I will spend like 3 gold's worth of drinks over the course of the night. Right? I'm not like handing them out like crazy, but I will buy myself and other people drinks liberally up to like 3 gold.
It's like 30 drinks, yeah. You're gonna get some people pretty smashed.
Yeah.
Dyson?
I'll put like 2 gold down for drinks over the
Hell
night
yeah.
for me and I guess like a couple of other people at the bar to try to gain favor.
Yeah, you buy some rounds for some people at the bar. And try to speak to others. Alrighty, since some of you aren't being stingy, we're going to give advantage to any social checks from Dizem and Glynis here, as they are intending to spend some money on other people specifically, who likely aren't in their party. Snafu has a table of smaller halflings and gnomish folk, who seem to be more rural or hill... I almost said gnoblins. I meant gnomes. And Felix, I want you just to give me a perception check before we go into anything else.
I also add that I specifically asked the bartenders for something strong, something with a lot of ale.
Okay.
Not that I want to drink it, but I'm already thinking about the moment everything will break, like when hell will break loose. If you allow me to play on word. I just need something to throw in the eye of the first guy that tries to get to
Okay.
me.
The tactical mug, as it's known.
So, yep, the tactical mug it is. And
Or tactical
perception
tankard. That's what it's called. There we go.
Ooh.
Oh, the
like it,
tactical
check.
tankard.
That
We
would be
love alliteration.
We love casting tankards. You keep an eye out on everyone in the room, and over the course of, let's say, like 20 or 30 minutes, while everyone else is moving around, you recognize people you weren't here to see last session, John's realizing mid-sentence. You see a roguish cobbler speaking around the room. In the back of your mind, you know this character to be Tony Risotto, a roguish folk man who accompanied a Nyordian crown prince who left as you guys were coming into the tower. He seems to be out here alone, and he is hopping tables and, like, meets your eye briefly, but, like, it takes you a moment to recognize him, but he recognizes you. He's like, oh, fuck. And quickly, like, darts off.
the famed roguish couple Tony Risotto.
Yes, Tony Risotto. You don't have much of a criminal background, so I'm not gonna provoke any history checks from you. Let's do Snefru next, because he will not have advantage on this roll, but you hang out around the gnomes and the halfling population. Doing what? What are you doing? You come up to them with your untouched grog.
He tries to copy Yancey the best that he can and put on an act of a downtrodden gnome, and bemoans the struggles of the other refugees and looks for a sympathetic ear, and if he finds one, he wants to, gently pry out information about potential halfling activities that might be under the gaze of the law.
Yeah, you find a guy, a male halfling, who listens to your plights and whatnot. I'm gonna need you to give me some kind of deception check, I suppose, to try to get this guy to open up about things he knows he shouldn't be talking about.
Here we go. 6.
Oh, a 6 is unfortunately not good enough. You're acting, well, I guess it doesn't matter on the nat 4 if your performance would have been better. But this guy, he's like, oh yeah, terrible, terrible what's happening to them. Awful, truly awful. And then he just stares at you blankly.
I ask him to buy me a beer. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
You finished your first one.
Oh. Yeah, it's not to my taste. It's not strong enough.
Yeah?
Need something way stronger than this. Someone gave me this over there. Here, you can have this one if you want to buy me a better one.
He drinks your grog.
Like, I want to be the creepy guy. Like, come on, give me a cigarette. Come on, I know you have one. Come on.
You pull that off perfectly. And at one point, another halfling with this great big scarred over eye, for it has been gouged out in the past, comes on over to you, and the little guy, and he looks to his friend and is like, is this guy bothering you, bro? Should I take him outside, teach him what's what? And the little guy's like, yeah, he's just strange. Strange guy. Strange guy. Aren't you strange guy? Stranger.
I've been told that before. Nice to meet you. I'm Biggie.
Yeah, I'm
with
small.
two Y's.
Yeah. 2 L's. You need something?
Yeah. What was I? And I want to play off like I'm drunk because I don't want this guy to kick my ass.
Think you had a 2 too many. Should leave now, bud.
What? Nah, we could. You don't. You got the wrong impression about me. We could be friends.
I don't think so. Unless you're casting a friend's cantrip, in which case we have some things to talk about after a minute.
I don't have that cantrip.
Well, aren't you a lucky ducky?
I don't want to expose my magical nature, do I? I was like, oh no, I could put on a show. And gnomes are known for like minor illusion, right?
I think so.
Okay. I'll use minor illusion to make fireworks.
You make fireworks in a bar filled with alcohol, do you?
Oh, it's minor illusion. Like, I could put on a show.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay, it'll be a shout.
Show how good this is. For maybe you blew it socially, but maybe they can find a use for you magically. Oh my god. 26. A casual 20. You have to tell me what these fireworks look like as you perform this magic trick.
I don't know what the components are. It's minor illusion.
Ooh.
Semantic and... Okay, so I would have to get my wand out, but that's fine. Unless, what's the material? Do I have that? A bit of fleece. I pick off a bit of this fleece shirt I'm wearing.
Okay.
And I blow out my hands, and it raises up like a spiraling firework, and then a very small firework explosion turns into a shower of sparks that turns into... I'm ripping off Gandalf, glittering coins that fall from the ceiling.
Oh, okay. You do this glittering coin trick to the amazement of both halflings in front of each other, who quickly glance at one another, say, "Oh my goodness, we got a magic man's on our hand. Maybe we can halfling speak." They say to each other, muttering, it's like, "Oh yeah, we definitely need one arcanist like you around, don't we? Don't we, Smalls?" And the one-eyed halfling will say, "Oh yeah, we can definitely find a use for you." And they will try to, I guess, lure you away from your party members, question mark?
Play along.
Yeah, they will take you to the back of the tavern, where there is a sort of secondary floor or a staircase that goes down to a water level, literally like right on the river itself, close to a little dock, where you will find some of the richer clientele want to be entertained by your little spark show. And while you play for your life, we're going to jump to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Dizem or Glynis. Here, I'm just going to roll a 1d6. That is Dizem. Dizem, you are at the bar buying drinks for everyone and not being stingy with your gold. How kind of you, many people say. Many are also asking where you came from, or like, what swamp did you drag your carcass out of, in more harsher tones. But for the most part, you are a welcome sight on site, just by giving away free drinks.
Many blessings from the mother.
Well, that's ominous, one guy points out. Where are you from, Buster?
A land you would have never have heard of.
Oh, that's equally
Not
ominous.
too important.
You're an ominous guy, friend.
So, how's Rien?
Oh, it's great this time of year, you know? The ice is melted, the snow stopped falling. Soon it's gonna be lush with life.
Anything strange happening from any countries north of here affecting the?
Alright, give me a persuasion check here at advantage, Dyson.
Let me top you off before I ask this.
I want it to
Anything
be
weird
known.
happening in some country really like right north of here? Like,
All my way of talking to these people will all make a great amount of sense the moment I roll, because of my current charisma.
Alright, 15's pretty good, but you have advantage, so
15.
let's see if you natch one of it. Ah.
Nope.
You know, there's something
Extremely good.
about a strange fish dragonborn, or squid dragonborn, that shows up, is an entire novelty to this area and neck of the woods. And although your questions are odd to them, they quickly take to them, and it's like, oh yeah, have you ever been to Nyord? It's fucking awful, they tell you. What? So I'm gonna give you, let's say, per 5. So I'm gonna give you 3 questions that these people will answer truthfully here.
Just like the best of their knowledge.
Yeah. Random townsfolk lore.
Like, how many princes do they have? Like, realistically.
Realistically, somewhere between like 4 and 11.
I'm trying to think of questions that won't just get me kicked out of this bar. What's with that camp outside of town?
Oh, the Nyordian camp? It's to ward off any of the settler, or, you know, the free settle guys from attacking them.
I'm trying my best to think of. Because, like, I can't ask important questions like, how big's their military? These are just random townsfolk in a town.
Yeah.
They don't really care about...
They might know.
Military.
Who knows what they know? They're fucking random.
They don't know about the industrial complex of Nyord.
You know, it's modern
They're
day
just living the-
talk. What
How
do you
big's-
want, Dyson? What do you
like-
want to know?
Yeah, I'll ask him, like, roughly how big is this northern country's military-industrial complex?
Oh man, it's huge. I hear like every citizen is involved in it somehow.
Like, willingly or...
Oh yeah,
forcefully?
willingly. Except for all the people who aren't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would suck.
Alright, there are your 3 questions. Obviously this will happen over the course of you drinking and conversating. You would obviously don't ask these back to back to back. Otherwise, it's just kind of weird, I suppose. Or maybe you do, actually. Who knows what Dyson?
Dyson would. Like, I would buy them, like, multiple drinks, ask all these questions, and continue to buy them drinks, and not talk
Like,
about
oh
it
my
ever
god,
again.
this guy's like totally doing like some spying shit on Nyord. Someone drunk in his state. And as this guy openly declares
No.
this, we're gonna jump to our card playing prince. Glennis, you were at a card table with several people with 10 gold buy-ins. That's freaking rich, bro.
It surprised me, actually. I thought 3 gold I was going to be covered, but I was not.
No.
I am playing this to instigate. I am like slow playing the shit out of incredibly strong hands, and I am aggressively betting really hard on like pots that I have no business in, and I am trying to get people riled up. I'm playing poorly, but like. But in a way that like a good player would be very annoyed. Like this is gonna piss everyone at the table off. I'm ruining the like flow of the game. And I am boisterous about it and aggressive in like calling out like people who I think are like, oh, they're definitely bluffing. They're this, they're that, and I am trying to get under everyone's skin.
You gotta tell, and you're like,
you've got to tell.
You're getting like right in their face.
And then I am lubricating everyone with drinks as I do this.
Okay.
And I'm looking to find the like. I'm looking to either start a fight and see who wins it, right? Or I'm looking for the person that's like the meanest, nastiest son of a bitch here. I want to find the pirate that like is in this game, right?
Okay.
Your rapscallion.
I want to find my rapscallion, yeah.
Okay, I think this is going to be a 2-point check, or a 2-part check. One is going to be a performance to see how much shit you can stir before they kick you out. I'll give you advantage because you are plying them with drinks and are just kind of being a menace. But it's all in good fun. Like, you're throwing away money, essentially.
Yes.
And then the other one will be an insight check, which will be at normal.
Okay. So the performance is a 17.
That's pretty good.
Pot stir like crazy. And then I will hit them with a little insight. With a 20.
Oh my
God. A dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You look at these... These guys are betting with means, and they're on the top floor. You don't know that there is a bottom floor where there are even more richer games going on. Meaning that this is like the working class that have access to at least 10 gold, which is a lot for a peasant folk. You see that some of them even have like tattoos. Some are inked on their forearms that are like hidden behind like... I don't want to call them, like, ribbons. They're just bits of cloth as though they are, like, following some sort of code of respect of, like, no matter what organization you're in, we can all bet at this table equally. Just general, like, hoodlum or roguish respect for one another. However, one guy is a flaunting bastard, Glynis. You quickly see that this guy... Dingo Doran, his name is.
Dingo Doran. Oh, we need the dingo.
We love alliteration, as you said. The Dingo Doran character is probably the guy who sees through your bullshit act immediately, but also enjoys the show the most. So, like, he's not throwing away his hands. He's playing like he wants to win. But for the most part, he's like, look at this dumb fuck pauper dressed as a like, who hired this man as a jester? And it's like half of his attention's on the game and half of it's on you. And at one point, he like stops the game and is like, all right, you're down to your last hand, kid. What's the play here? What are you trying to do?
Ooh, he calls me out.
He calls you out.
I smile at him and I say, it looks like I've already done it. All in, and I put every coin I have on the table before I even look at my hand. And I just like give him the most like the intense look, like we need to meet. Like I don't have any rogue features. I can't parlay under cover, but I'm basically like, I guess
Yeah.
I look at him and I say, I know what I say. I don't say I've already done it. I say, it seems I've found my man, and I go all in, and I just look at him.
All
and
right.
I give him the slightest, like, let's meet somewhere.
I getcha.
Yeah.
To resolve the gamble, I want you to roll me a death saving throw. And if you...
okay.
Let's just see it firsthand.
Okay.
As, like, everyone else is, like, looking at their cards, and then they see you, and you're, like, all in. I don't give a shit.
Like, I've got one card. Like, the second card is being dealt as I'm, like, all in. It's a 7. It's not success.
It's not a success. You do beat one guy in the... You beat fucking Dingo Doran, actually. He got a nat 6. He, like, folds immediately. As you, throwing away money, just stand up from the table, not even waiting to see, like, the actual winner of the hand be dealt, and just fucking walk out. And Doran's like, I'm close to folding too, folks. He starts following you out. Felix, I suppose that is your cue to maneuver.
Yep.
Dizem, you have high enough passive perception to notice that Glynis is being followed by what appears to be a river pirate. And Sneffer's nowhere to be seen.
Sneffer's living the high life. He's got 3 Millers on the table. He's doing good.
If I see like a suspicious pirate following Liz, I'm gonna like go check out, see what's happening.
Yeah, you
And I'm keeping
three
my hair, of course.
head out with Dingo
in case.
Doran shortly behind Glynis, shortly behind Felix, and Dyson behind both of them. Sneffer, we're gonna jump to you
Very
real
stealthy.
quick, as you are held hostage by what appears to be the Halfling Mafia, who are demanding more and more sophisticated tricks.
I'd like to spill half of my beer on myself in my drunken act.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And keep you gotta buy me more beer. And then I guess I'm infiltrating the Halfling Mafia. I'd like to say, as a refugee, I need work, and I'd like to try to infiltrate the Halfling Mafia to some degree.
Okay.
Like
I
I
want
see
you
Snef
to
like
make me a
3
deception
years.
check, as they give you alcohol. They're gonna apply you with alcohol, and also a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Not 1 on deception,
All right. We love
and a
nat
Constitution
ones.
saving throw.
Yep.
11.
Snefru, at one point during your performance, your deception, whatever you want to call it, you realize you've been poisoned at one point while taking an actual sip. And, unfortunately, are going to be paralyzed until the resolution of Glynis and Dingo Doran, as you are kidnapped by the Halfling Mafia as a spellcaster.
No.
We focus on the top 3 as Snefru gets kidnapped. What? Good stuff.
You guys are watching the wrong person.
Dingo Doran.
It was no hat.
That takes a while to happen.
Yeah.
So, Glynis and Dingo Doran are outside when Felix and Dizem sort of head out and sort of duck into this alleyway to have a private conversation. And he immediately starts with, "All right, who sent you?"
I send myself. I am Prince Glynis Marchette, Prince of Livistio. I apologize for any deception, but I needed to find someone of skill and perception, I suppose, without drawing undue attention to my family and name. I'm going, seeing as I can see behind him, I like see like two of my men creeping up behind him. I'm gonna be like, do not be alarmed. Two of my men are behind you. We will not be in need of combat today. These are my retainers, Dizem and Sir Felix.
He glances at the two, like, all right, I see it, I gotcha.
You seem to be a man of means and
Oh,
a man who knows his way about this town. I am in need of someone who can train, let's say, about 600 men to be pirates for a day. And I think...
You're trying to make a full battalion, ain't you? Or a company.
I am, indeed.
Well, let me introduce myself first before you move on, because you found your man, Dingo Doran States. Dingo Doran explains to you over the course of this day that he is actually an enforcer, or was an enforcer, for anyone who could buy him. Enforcers essentially being armed thugs who quite literally go out and do what they're told. He's less than a mercenary, even though his attitude is quite mercenary. He does not have the skill set to like work in a fighting company, but individually, like, he knows how to hurt people, and is often paid to do so. More importantly, though, he's been hired by the Halfling Mafia more than one occasion, has great recommendation and contracts for his resume, and also has a, minor leadership capability for boats that he would run security for. Essentially, while the Halflings smuggle and deal, they hire tougher and scarier men to hurt. And then they have a clandestine band of assassins that work for... He doesn't talk about the assassins. But, it's a dog!
Oh, it's a dog!
Look at that puppy.
It's a good dog.
Yeah, Dingo Doran tells you all about, like, oh yeah, I totally train. Maybe we'll start with, like, 20 or so, saying 20 good men. He'll move on. And then they'll take 20, and those guys will take 20, and we'll have you guys trained up in a couple months.
Excellent. I offer to hire him, and I explain to him what we're gonna be doing, and I say, like, I will acquire boats soon enough, and food and whatever, and like, I do ask if he knows of a hideaway of some sort that we could stage these trainings at.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of little river islands all over the place. They normally connect to small swamps you'll never see on the map, but there's plenty of little tributary streams and clearings that one might be surprised by. If your goal is to hamper the Nyordians, well, the more time we got, the better, obviously. Otherwise, you're going to be sending these poor sons of bitches to their death.
I explained to him that we have until the thaw, essentially. The time is coming, but these people like are... Is it already a week? I thought we had like a month still, maybe.
Most of the snow is melting currently. You have maybe until April. It's late March currently,
and we're at the end of March.
Yeah,
I guess I tell him then. That I don't need a raiding force as much as I need people who can damage, like, that can do damage, right? I'm looking for you to teach these people to, like, become essentially the like torpedo that sinks the ship, right? I'm like arsonists, and teach them to row, teach them to hurt people, but like obviously they can't be a full fighting force.
Yep. I can get you a crew. If you confront, like, 100 gold, or something like that, the more that you have, the more people I can hire. But those thugs, those people, can sort of get the ball rolling quicker, and show them what it means to, like, actually do the job. Because sinking a riverboat's actually incredibly easy. And you don't even need fire for it. You just need good momentum and a bit of metal on the end of your raft.
Excellent. I guess I fish the remaining 10 gold out of my pocket, and I tell him a down payment. I will procure what I can. Procure the funds that we can. I suppose on the morrow.
All right. Anywhere I should meet you, Your Highness?
I guess I'd tell him of the place that DF Humphreys has a staying in.
Okay. You do that. Dingo will see you on the morrow unless he's murdered. For any such reason. Or if he rips you off, which doesn't seem likely. He has this air about him of like, oh shit, this might be my big break. I might actually, like, have... You know, he doesn't care if you're lying about being a royal, but if, like, the way you have acted thus far, along with apparently having vassals, is interesting enough for him to see out.
Yeah. Excellent.
Which means we're gonna jump to Snefru, who's going to start looking for the gnome in his retinue.
He has most of the money, okay? We can't spot him 100 gold until we get Snefru.
Snefru, you wake up or are freed from the paralyzing effect mid-drowning. You are currently head dunked in the river. Your body has been tied up, and after like 15 seconds of realizing you've taken in water, you are hoisted back out and are essentially being waterboarded or given the worst swirly in the world currently. You see a regal-looking halfling with dark, slicked-back hair and with a small tattoo on his scalp that's sort of coming out of his hairline that looks like a viper. And he is holding a dagger knuckle duster, as though he wishes to punch you and gut you at the same time. And he is currently, like, wrapped his hands around it, and he speaks to you very quietly. All right, then. Who sent you?
Nobody. I'm so desperate. Please.
All right,
Please.
throw him back in.
I have a wife and kids.
Back into the...
Oh no.
Give me a Constitution saving throw as you are dunked into the icy cold river water.
That's an 8.
You are pulled back out after thrashing, as John keeps track of that failure there. You look at this man one more time, and he says, all right, who sent you?
I came of my own volition. I just wanted to join the halfling mafia.
All right, throw him back in. Give me another con save. Okay.
12.
That's not too bad. You are pulled back out of the river, freezing. Your neck is pulsing. You can feel your heartbeat with every breath you take. And as you sputter water, he grabs you by your hair and drags you over. You look at the hinged above you, or the Polian system, and he brings the knife to your face. He says, last time, who sent you?
Sputtering out water, terrified he's gonna meet his end here. I did come of my own volition, but to impress my master.
Who's your master?
I serve the crown prince of Livistio.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's the
You
truth.
finally
Okay.
named
Persuasion.
someone. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Persuasion?
If you're desperate and pissing yourself, you can roll for advantage. Narratively, you are pissing yourself.
Narratively, I am pissing myself. It's the same, 12.
We love 12s, guys, don't we?
It's better than 10.
It is
What's
better
his
than 10.
name?
It is.
Prince Glennis Marcia.
How old is he?
He's 22.
What does he look like?
And I describe his stature generally.
All right, final question, because anyone could have had that. Describe for me his crest.
You mean the
made it.
banner or the
Yeah.
Marchette crest? Oh, yeah, okay. I describe the magenta unicorn crest.
Son of a bitch, he says. He lets you go and lets you dangle in the air for a minute. And then, in consideration, what does the Crown Prince want with the Halfling Mafia? Hopefully not to break our balls.
I thought I would impress him by finding him an ally against the Nyordian.
And your job was to infiltrate us? Or the best way you thought you could go about that is through this?
I had a completely different plan and it didn't work.
The best
He
laid
starts
plans of mice and
laughing.
gnomes.
A very high-pitched giggle that you would imagine for like a gangster-type character he'd be like made fun of for having, as he goes, hee 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 hee. Oh, that's so funny. You look beyond him and see that the two halflings, Smalls with two L's, as though there's another way to spell it, looks absolutely terrified of the man before you. And he will state, okay. Well, hopefully he will come looking for you, and then we can have a proper conversation. Wouldn't that be nice, Mr.
My name's Steffru. Please don't put me back in the water.
Well, now we have to. He will let the rope slide, like, right next to the surface, where you can see that a trout or some kind of big river fish has been circling, and just in the chaos, you've just been slapped by it a couple times, thinking that you were food. But they pull you up after the shocked little scream you give, which is, unfortunately, deafened by all the music that's going above on this little bar. We jump to the rest of the party, who's missing their wizard. Glennis Dizem Felix.
Hey, Felix. You saw where Sniffer went, right?
Oh yeah, it was with Well, I can't really recall it, but I'm pretty sure I saw him talking to people. I mean, you know how he is.
Race Pelks.
He's a
He's probably
charismatic fellow. I'm
Yeah.
sure his silver tongue could get him into no trouble.
Aw, he's fine then.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll come back with a lot of information to share with us.
Yeah, we'll
mean-
find it. He'll be back in the morning. We're all too drunk for this.
I don't know. I guess when it
faith.
becomes very obvious that he's not coming back, right? I guess Glynis is uncertain how to go about locating him without
go back-
like being like, "Yo, hi, have you seen my court wizard?" You would-
No, I feel like the best course of action is going back to the bar and drunkenly going around like, have you seen this like tiny little guy, big red hair?
Reverse panty hat, you know, just.
He doesn't have his hat on. Yeah, I suppose I can. After some time of waiting, Glynis will return to the bar. I suppose with that plan suggested by Daizo. I kind of like make my way to the bartender, and I'm like, I was expecting a friend of mine to return with me. It seems the end of the night has come, but I don't see him. Have you seen a gnomish fellow? Not much of a drinker. Probably only really ordered about one drink. Would have most likely come with the refugees.
Nope.
Fair enough, good man.
Just the clearest no ever.
That's about it.
If he didn't see him, he didn't see him. And I guess maybe I ask like one or two patrons. I can't canvass the whole bar. So being turned down, I scratch my chin a bit, and I wonder, he wouldn't have gone off too far on his own. Let's take a look around, I suppose. And I leave the bar, and I guess, like, I know Greg knows he's at the river, or like was at the river at some point, and we are on a bar at the river. So I don't want to be like, well, river. But I'm like, can we search the area a little bit to see if he was?
There
if
are
we
other
see
businesses
signs of him?
here,
I don't know.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Like
head
maybe we
on-
go into different establishments and look around for him.
He
Yeah.
probably left like some trace.
Give me an investigation check, looking for any trace of Snefru or any sign of him as you start asking around.
Uh-huh. Sure.
And we'll see how much energy you put into this search by this.
Can I get
number.
assistance from my two buddies here?
Yeah, I'll help you.
Gladly, yeah.
Alright. Excellent. And I will roll at advantage with a 12.
Guys, that's 3
Another
12s in a
12.
row. I'm not gonna lie.
We love
Technically
12s.
We love 12s. As you start searching, sure enough, after a moment goes by, you head to, like, for some reason, like, right next to this tavern is, like, a tailoring shop. Like, for just simple men's to sailcloths, as well as tabards or any sorts of simple clothing. Not high maintenance work, which is still open for some reason. And also, as you, like, duck around the side, has also a deck attached to the river itself. And you head on over to the thing, just asking if you've seen a gnome around. And a halfling, with one gnarly eye, looks to you and is like, oh shit. Hang on. It's like, hey boss! Small shouts out. And after a moment, they're like, yeah, we got your gnome.
Oh. You have him.
Yeah,
Is
he
he in the
drunkenly
back? Shall
swum
I wait for
over
him?
to our deck.
Oh, I didn't realize he didn't handle alcohol that well.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I took him back to a nice bed and got him rested up?
Well, my boss wants to talk to you first because, we thought he was stealing from us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have anyone steal from a fine haberdashery such as this. Yeah,
Come on back.
I will meet your boss. Yeah.
So the prince also gets kidnapped. One by one, we're also gonna find
Well,
him.
Felix and Dies
I mean, you
nearby.
guys are with me.
I'll follow closely.
Yeah. I assume you guys are like with me in the
Yeah.
search. You were assisting, right?
This is
You follow him back to a back room that is clearly not a tailoring shop or probably the cheapest, like, tailoring thing. There's, like, one workbench with like thread and needles. There's no like way to organize this out.
It's like that one pizzeria that like no one ever goes to but is open all the time. And if you ask for a pizza, they stare at you for 20 minutes before they make one.
True. There are, however, like 400 crates and boxes and barrels that are on the other side of the wall. And as you're piecing together that this is a storeroom and not a haberdashery, as you called it, you head down a small flight of wooden stairs where you will see that Snefru, soaking wet, has been wrapped up in a blanket to warm himself up or to, conduce hypothermia, more likely, since he's not dry at all. So he just has a wet blanket on him. And you see a regal-looking halfling, sort of sitting on a crate, kind of in the dark, staring at you.
Hello.
Hello,
I take
Your
it
Highness.
from the... Oh, you know me. That
Yes.
helps. I hear my court wizard may have stumbled into some... I don't know, trouble, perhaps?
That's a way of describing it.
I see. I would like to take him back if I could.
Oh, you're free to have him. But I feel like we should have a conversation, you and I.
I would be happy to. I do feel a bit at a disadvantage here. You know me, but I don't know you.
Maybe that's for the best.
If you insist.
Yes, I do. Regardless, I have been told by someone, and he's just looking down at Snefru, that you might be looking for me. Or at least one
I
of
don't
mine.
know who you are.
Well, I was about to pontificate, if you could have waited.
I'm sorry.
Yes. I'm told you're looking for an organization that doesn't exist.
Oh, I heard that a organization of dubious resistance might be one of the, pillars of the city here, but I didn't think they existed.
They don't.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't be able to ask them to help me anyway. They're not here.
Exactly. Yeah, one of your
Seems like
friends went looking for them, even though it doesn't exist. Isn't that funny?
Oh, he's too well read, you see. Too many flights of fancy.
Yes. Well, what they don't teach in wizard school, and what Rube isn't here to listen to in a very threatening manner, is the easiest way to kill a spellcaster is to throw them into any body of water. Isn't that funny?
As long as they haven't cast water breathing on themselves beforehand.
It's true.
See, the thing about spellcasters is they always have an answer for anything that you could do. If you give them enough preparation, they're quite honestly unkillable. The point of the matter is not whether or not you could kill my to-be court wizard. The real question is, why are we having this conversation?
Because I want to know if what he says might be true. And what needs you
That I'm
might
looking for
have
you.
for an organization that doesn't exist.
There are 600 men in a camp outside of your city. I intend to train them to fight the people that they are running from when their boats race down this river. I went to the Homebound in search of a man that could do that. I believe I found one. Since we are talking about someone that doesn't exist that might be able to assist further, perhaps I am in need of materials to arm them. or money to buy said materials. If an organization that didn't exist around here and had no dealings in the area were to provide that, I am sure an arrangement could be made, but unfortunately it seems no one is here.
No one is here. That's correct, yes. However, strangely enough, my warehouse just upstairs got a misshipment from some boat that believed us not to be a simple tailor shop. With, would you have it, several dozen crossbows of light origin, as well as a few hundred crossbow bolts. Now, I know not what your peasants may utilize, but even the dumbest peasant can learn how to use a crossbow in a day.
I believe that is the purpose of a crossbow, to create a worthy militia that requires less training. Are you requesting the return of these materials?
Oh no, it'd honestly be a huge help to have someone in a real government take these illegal weapons off my hands. For we are just a tailoring shop.
Oh, of course. I see. This was simply a shipping manifesto mix-up. I would be happy to take them off of your hands.
Wow. That would be so gracious of you. And I assume, since you are a gracious prince, if someone should come asking for a return of favor, you would be immediate to give them your assistance.
I give a long, thoughtful pause. Right, the pregnant pause there, I guess, is purposeful, and I say, I am well known to honor debts and to be a friend of those who help me. I cannot promise the immediacy of my assistance, as you know. A crown prince has many obligations and duties, but given the opportunity, I would look forward to attempting to repay a favor.
Well, I suppose that's all we can ask. Would you like to shake on it?
Yes. I am happy to.
Yeah, he stands on his box to be eye level with you. You come to shake his hand over your fallen Sneffer.
I didn't realize Sneffer was in between us. I thought he was huddled in a corner or something.
He's just right on the floor.
We're just talking over the top of him this whole time.
The whole time.
I shake on it, and I say, "Thank you for taking care of my drunken friend."
You're very welcome.
I will take care of your shipping manifesto error and leave you to tailor in peace.
Good to know. Just whenever you're ready, pull up a boat alongside. And we will help load you, even, with our handy-dandy crane, he says, looking down at Snefru.
A most gracious offer. And I guess, I don't know, I take off my dry shirt to, give to Sneferu. It's probably a dress on him, but, I don't know, at least it's not wet.
Yeah.
I'm like, alright.
Say the word, Prince. I'll kill them all. Say the word. Cut my bonds.
Not necessary, my friend.
You know what they say, Snefru? You don't jump on the back of a Kelpie. 1, because they don't exist. 2, because they'll kill you.
But kelpies do exist.
I feel like you've learned nothing from this entire situation.
And they threw Snefru into the river. As the scene ends, you all head back to your local tavern, and we're going to take another very short break here before we sort of round out our session. Guys, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ordeals of Livistio. Thank you for your patience. We regather. Party, your night has been long. You quickly retire to your room so I can move us into the next calendar day, which is known as the 20th of March, where multiple things happen. Specifically, Snefru, sometime during your snooze, probably like 4 or 5 in the morning, you jolt awake as you suddenly feel the connection between you and your owl, or hawk, excuse me, get terminated.
My bald eagle.
Your eagle. My bad. God bless America. Someone has shot the national bird.
Oh,
That's illegal. They can't do that.
Agreed. It's illegal.
It was me.
I assume since this is your familiar, this might be important to you, and is magically connected to you, that even if it were to die on its own, you would recognize its death, even if you're a million miles away. This is what you wake up to, sleeping next to a fireplace, and fight hypothermia. Next up on the list, roughly at the break of dawn, you all hear a thunderstorm of a, we'll call it immediate variety, sort of occur right before the sun is rising. And all of you are kind of confused by that as you look outside, see no clouds. And then, see lightning flash across the top of the tower, where a certain grandma-like character has just fired a lightning bolt.
Okay.
That needs to be investigated.
Did Grandma blast my bald eagle?
No, that happened like an hour later.
Okay.
I think Glynis looks up and sees like lightning crashing from the tower and goes, "Oh, she really meant she was gonna throw some lightning bolts." Okay, like Glynis, like she's just reminding people she's mean and scary. Back to bed.
Back to bed.
When we talked, I was like, some people think you don't even exist. So she's like, I'll throw some lightning to remind them. So Glynis is like, okay, she meant like tonight.
Yeah, that morning she wakes everyone up in the city with a lightning bolt, I suppose. And many are like, oh shit, fuck. Aside from that, your morning is your own. As John puts a note that Macro's name got changed to Ricardo. Okay. Party!
Alright, so I have meetings supposedly set up via letter the evening before with the, I'm assuming the agricultural society and the shipwrights, because we'd already met with the labor union previously and made a deal. And we met with the Mafia last night, so even if Yonsei found a way to deliver a letter to the Mafia, I think that that's been taken care of.
I think so. I don't think she can send a runner. Take this to the mob.
Yonsei is a halfling mafia believer, which is different than most of the population, and is connected. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them.
Maybe.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
He's crafty. If anyone could write a letter to someone that doesn't exist, I think it would be Yonsei.
It's true.
Yeah.
The
that would've been way
agricultural
better.
rep will not send a response because they are actually closer to the refugees, and they did not send a letter that night to RSVP, essentially your arrival. However, the shipwright guys are quite literally just a few buildings down, and you can go on over to them saying, meet in the early morning.
I will suggest we go meet with them when we wake up, but I also ask DF Humphreys, since he's here, to take our would-be gifts and sell them at market. We have met with the sorceress, and she is unlikely to be needing these or wanting them from our talks. And I am in need of liquid cash. If you could sell these, I have some deals that need be done.
Understood.
If you would, the best price you can find, but the price that gets done.
All right. He will go and start working on that.
Excellent.
It is a full riverboat, so it should sell quite well. Or, the cargo, not the boat.
I think we're selling
we
the
just
finer...
can't get home. We sell the boat. We're rich, but we can't leave.
Yeah.
Turns out this is our army. It starts now.
I think we're selling the finery, but not the foodstuffs and stuff. That will go to the hideout, right?
I think what we said we brought was all luxury items. So even if they are foodstuffs, they're fine wines and desserts and things, right? So I think it'd be better to sell them than to be like, "Hey, you're starving. Here's a bonbon," right?
Yeah.
Let them eat cake.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that the
Sorry.
agriculture
Let's
guys might
knock
be-
out the shipwrights real quick. The shipwrights do not need a named character to interact with them, so we're going to abstract this conversation a bit.
Okay.
They build boats. That is their job. They harvest wood, or wood comes to them from down the river, and they build boats with it. Or up the river, I should say. And they ask you what the fuck you want. What do you want?
I need boats, right? I want to make a bunch of boats. How many? Theoretically, a boat that like rams other boats gets captained by 10 men.
It depends on the rowers. So the boats that attacked you were essentially battle canoes. They literally housed 3 guys who rowed, or 2 rowed, 1 guy was in the middle with a ranged weapon. They didn't really use the ranged weapon since theirs were bill hooks, because they wanted to board you rather than sink your ship. And those boats do not take that long to make, and also are quite common for simple fishermen.
Oh, okay, so they're good to disguise as. I guess that's perfect. And if they're made by 3, I guess I need 200 boats, right?
Then there are the slightly bigger boats known as river barges. River barges are the things you came in on. They are normally enchanted through a magical technique that lets them effectively reverse the flow of water directly around them so that they can go upriver and not have to have rowers. But they're effectively trapped by the tides. They don't have, there's no point of rowing them. If anyone is, like, helping them, it's like a dude with a 20-foot pole who's, like, shoving the boat in a direction. Just with leverage. Finally, which is what you're asking for, is essentially a small galley, which has multiple rowers who utilize the boat itself as a weapon. These things were kind of... they are an unsophisticated and also potentially suicidal craft. If the galley is not of high or quality make, it'll just split down the middle due to the energy conveyance of what they hit versus what they're made out of, and just sort of split and break apart and sink. So no one's really done a river galley before. In the ocean, they are much more common. When you have hundreds of rowers and a multi-ton vessel slamming in with all that force, with like a big metal wedge or
I think I want galleys, just because enchanted barges doesn't seem to be the type of flexibility I want, and I don't think 200 battle canoes, unless, like, the shipwrights are like, yeah, we can crank out a battle canoe in, like, an hour. Like, we're gonna shit these out.
They can't do it in an hour. A galley takes a lot of time in manpower. The more manpower you have, obviously, the less time you have. But, like, at minimum, it would take a week to make a galley with, like, 20 or 30 or maybe even 50 laborers going, like, hard on it.
I guess I need...
is doable.
I think I need a bunch of boats, right? And I guess I go into the negotiation looking for maybe them to build them, but maybe to, like, jump in line. They're clearly a production company, right? They have orders that are being made. Maybe I'm like, hey, can you give me what's being made? I intend, and maybe I'll disguise it as like I'm doing a good thing for these refugees or whatever, or maybe I don't, right? This is a pirate town kind of, but like I try to negotiate to be like, I need a number of ships that will do, that will carry these people, and I guess I'm not asking them to enchant them or anything. I'm like, these are for refugees, but like, can you grab me some? You got to throw some casual classism in there for, being a prince.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, just try to maybe jump in line in their production and be like, I know these take a while to make. Perhaps you can make an exception for me and try to negotiate that way. Maybe try to trade a favor or just like figure out a cash that, like, I could pay like X much cash now and then cash later type of thing. I don't know. I'm it's hard to give you an offer when I don't know what like is possible. But like, if they need something, right, that I can acquire. I can like offer a favor to help that. I'm looking to like get a bunch of boats, and if that's galleys or like a combination of battle canoes and galleys, or just a shit ton of battle canoes because they're cheap and they come out fast, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for.
So, alright, this is an aside, but the waterborne vehicle prices in the PHB is insane. There's no way a galley... Like, what the fuck do they think a galley is? It's 30,000 gold pieces. Like, what? And even a rowboat's 50 gold. A wagon's 35. A wagon is way more... It's way harder to make than a rowboat. And it's way cheaper. So, be happy that John has control of all market forces in this world, I suppose. And he is way more reasonable than this book outlines.
We're very happy about that, John.
I'm glad.
+1 to capitalism for John.
True! Alright. So, no galleys are currently being made by these people, because no. Just no way. Most of the time, they do, like, fishing boats and small, little, vehicles that, like, families can go out on and just, like, net fish, to, like, supplicate their, diets. They will, God, it takes, like, 3 days to make one. They honestly don't have that much. Well, no, they have demand for them, for sure. I was gonna roll some dice.
Okay.
6, 8. Okay. So currently 10 robot boats are currently in construction, and have been since winter. They don't build in excess, so they don't have surplus. So essentially someone comes in and they're like, hey, my rowboat needs patching, or I need a new one. And then they like kind of commission it then and there. 10 are currently being worked on by the like kept apprentices and workers here in the shop. However, thanks to their direct attachment to the labor union, they can essentially convert lumberjacks and other sorts of like day tailors to increase the manpower that they currently have just doing like the simpler tasks, while their 10 main employees focus on the specialized stuff. So essentially these guys would go out and like refine the planks, and then these dudes would like put it all together. Each one is about... I'm gonna just go with fucking wagon price and just switch those prices around and say each one is going to cost about 35 gold. And then, like, a convenience fee, I suppose they'll add for, like, another 5 to, like, put those on the back burner. But then you start talking about, like, your need for immediate ships now, and they suggest that perhaps you should go to the boats people already own and aren't using, and just outright buy them. There are plenty of townspeople here who own boats because they live on the river. And in theory, if you have the cash and the influence, you can buy them out.
Okay. So what I would like then is to ask for one of their apprentices or master shipwrights, whoever could be available, to accompany one of my men or me and examine the boats so that I can buy boats that are sturdy and durable, that I can buy and aren't like in disrepair and or poorly crafted or whatever else that might be. And yeah, I will I don't know how much money I'm working with on my boat full of fineries, right? So I don't know how much just like cash I can throw at it. But if there's a way to like even just be like, here's a down payment of half or whatever, and then like a promissory from the crown, from the like state to pay for the rest.
Let's
I
talk about.
would do something like that.
Let's talk about taking out a loan, which is what when a prince who is highly trusted and cannot run away from his state does to essentially exchange influence for money. Some people here are fucking rich. One of whom, you know, with a family connection and a several thousand foot tall tower, might just have loads of gold rolling around. And what are they doing with that gold? They're sitting on it. They have no fucking need for it. So, in theory, you can go to anti-Nyord and be like, hey!
That was on my list of things. Right? That was on my list of things that I could potentially do, is just go to Antrian for money. I would like to see what I can get liquid from the sale of our gifts, so I know what I have in hand and see what that like how far that goes, and if I can go into a deficit essentially for the state instead of personally with Antrian, I would prefer to do that first, but I will go to the tower if other options aren't available or good enough. If that makes sense.
Okay. I like it. I'm rolling to see how much money, oh my goodness, DM Humphrey is able to get here. Because, ironically enough, he is actively trading with the Halfling Mafia. Who do... They are quite liquid here. It's just all their finances are spread out through the town.
Bringing DF Humphrey along was a godsend.
Yeah. I actually need to keep track of this real quick.
Okay.
DF Halfling Mafia. So the first roll for finery is going to be 2. Then we have luxury spoilage. So it should be consumables, but whatever.
Oh.
It's 430.
If you guys have ideas on negotiating, by the way, like, you can jump in. I kind of have de facto negotiated on our behalf, but like, I don't know if you want to like be like, hey, let's not do this, let's do this instead. Like, jump.
Last time I tried that, I almost got killed. So.
I mean, like, so far you're having like very good decisions. So
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm throwing it out there, right? Like,
people
jump
seem
in.
satisfied.
Yeah.
Total that DF Humphrey is able to get is a 680 gold pieces worth of materials, currency, and other sorts of finery that is worth that much. So it's not all raw gold, because some things just
but
aren't
it's
worth it.
liquid enough, right? We could
Yeah.
trade it to people, right? Yeah. Okay.
Most of this is same day trading, and the majority of the trade came from the luxury goods that have a expiration date on them. Like the silverware or ironware is like a staple because it doesn't go bad. I mean, kind of. But like, the sweetmeats, the alcohol, the beautiful wines. All that shit's like that's the good stuff right there.
And you said 654 gold?
680 flat.
Oh, 680. My brain was not correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have 680 gold that I can like spend, right? So I can buy roughly 19 ships with all of that gold, and I'd have like some left over, not much. How many? So these ships that we're buying, how many people can like row them, type of thing, right? Like, or like.
So
it doesn't service 600 people, but it services some amount.
It does. So if you wanted to go around just buying boats already made, you could actually get a little bit of a knockoff price from them.
Okay.
Because most of these boats are like a year or two old, but are still like serviceable. My calculation is if you spent the full 680, you could get like 27 with like 20-ish gold left over. These are the simple like canoes that you saw. You would need to have them be used by multiple times just to get everyone out of Rien. Alternatively, you could buy like 5 of those cheap rowboats and also a full-blown like river barge, which is already made and just needs some patching before it's good to go.
With crossbowmen, I think the barge is a good idea.
Yeah.
I think.
But it's
Yeah,
slower.
that's fine. It is slower, and I kind of want to. I guess all we really need to do is like slow their crossing. We can't really prevent it. The sorceress could lightning bolt them out of the sky, but I just don't see that happening, even if Daddy wants it. Right? But if we can sink some of their ships, that would be a huge boon. So I'm almost like more willing to send like an arsonist gnome on like a just blow everything up mission type of thing.
Just
I know the exact
with
gnome.
like fermented alcohol and like hay. Just try to.
And you don't, and yeah, and like if you could put holes in their ships and stuff, that would be good. Okay, so I have 680 gold I can work with.
That's pre-loan, by the way. So if you wanted more,
yeah. I guess I can't do that for people. I can't be like, hey, the government's gonna come get you, but I could do that for like a shipping company. But that doesn't sound like the shipping company can meet my needs there.
Maybe you could
27
price-
boats times 3 people is how many people? 81. Not quite 600.
And the more we have, the better.
Yeah.
We should go ask Auntie for money, please.
Yeah, it does seem I'm probably in that situation. I was hoping that like the shipping company I could get like a note of debt or something on. Perhaps I can do that with the agricultural people, but if I'm taking a loan for the boats, I might as well take a loan for everything.
yeah.
Okay, let's go see the sorceress. I make a like a plan, right? Or I hire one of their apprentice shipwrights or master shipwrights for a day to like help me evaluate the boats. And we'll meet at X place on the docks, and we'll just go around and buy up a bunch of boats.
Okay.
And then I guess the party and I will go to the tower and beggar ourselves for money.
Yeah, you head on to the door. Seabass is there. It's like, oh, you're back. I hope you guys weren't scared of the lightning bolt.
Oh, it was terrifying. I am sure that Rienne's name will echo throughout the lands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's a shame because she shot it indoors, not outside.
Oh, I'm sure that was quite terrifying for you.
Oh yeah, I woke up and was scared. I'm terrified of thunder. And she knows that too.
You know,
You sure you're okay?
You hear a voice call out from around Seabass. Before, as we all know, that one of those mirrors is always dedicated to Seabass because she's afraid he'll get lost or attacked or something. And she'll be like, "Please send up the boys." She calls out, sounding somewhat pained or annoyed. And Seabass is like, "Oh, okay," and invites you all inside with your two T-posing friends who he'll entertain while you beg for money.
I'm sure Yancey is going to be delighted by her second magic show.
It's the same tricks, too, in the same order. You guys head upstairs where you can find Rienne in her doorway with the equivalent of a magical shotgun, also known as a staff. She looks quite upsetty spaghetti and is essentially chugging healing potions at the moment. Back to back to back. He's like, "Oh, hey guys."
My lady, you seem a little worse for the wear this morning.
Oh, yes, it
everything all
turns
right?
out that ring was not just cursed by making him a slave, it also acted as a scrying beacon, or a homing beacon, to be teleported onto at the user's will, and I woke up having to fight a strange flying demonoid creature, which gave me flashbacks of my early adulthood and childhood. So I am quite livid, but not mad at you, Felix. I need you to be aware of that. Here, have some honey, she says, and gives you a jar of honey. Why did you guys come?
My deepest apologies that our meeting led to such an attack.
Not your fault.
I am sorry to disturb you, but in my dealings with the town and attempts to raise the refugees to our cause, I have found myself taxing my spending money, so to speak. And I had come hoping to
You need money?
beseech. Yes,
Okay,
I need money.
I understand. I'm just saying, it's kind of weird that the second meeting between two family, you come asking for a hand. It's fine. See,
I know. I'm sorry.
when you get
was
married,
hoping...
Glynis, I expect an invitation to it, alright?
Absolutely. You will find an invitation.
I
Thank
hope for
you.
one too.
The bride's downstairs.
I am not marrying Yancey. That is
I thought he was
just
mentioning the
grand
bear
joke.
daddy. Was that not your bride?
Oh, no.
That's the reward.
Oh.
Damn.
If I didn't say it was Seabass, Yancey would get mad at me.
That's fair, that's fair.
You will never take Seabass from me, Snefru. Do you hear me, wizard?
Yes, madam. Yes, I was merely making
Good.
attempted humor.
I've
I'm sorry.
invested too much in him to give him away. Yeah, she will, after an hour or so, check what liquid funds she is comfortable with giving you.
Mm-hmm.
John's thinking. Yeah, okay. In flat currency that she is willing to give you for an equal exchange / you'll have a year to pay this back before she starts adding interest to this. 0% APR.
Yo, good deal.
She will say or essentially give you 2,000 gold pieces right now that she is willing to part with for reimbursement within a year, or, you know. We'll get, you know, if you survive the year, then we'll talk about that APR, okay?
Okay. John, I need a price check on grain.
Grain? It's in the coppers per pound, I know for sure. Give me 1 second. I'm putting down on the 21st, Rien, loans, Livistio, 2K GP.
1 year, 0 APR. Second year, who knows?
29 or something, right?
58. Keep ramping it.
Grain is underneath mounts and vehicles for some reason. 1 pound of flour is worth 2 copper pieces. So.
Okay, so this is really about boat prices, because I can pay for essentially infinite grain, right?
Yeah. Honestly, it matters more about the supply rather than the demand.
Right. Understood. I needed to know if, like, I needed to reserve 1,000 gold for potential grain, right? Like, from agriculture or something.
No.
So, even at a price point of 25 gold pieces per ship, we can only get about 107 ships doing that, which is actually pretty good. But I'm not sure.
It's like
there's 107 ships just sitting in harbor, right?
Shall I roll to see how many people are willing to part with?
Sure, I guess.
Roughly 3,000 people here before refugees. That's 60. Then another 30. There's 90 boats you can potentially buy.
That's 2250. So I would need her whole money for that. 90 boats times 3 people manning them is 270. That's like a third of our group. That's probably worth it. I was hoping maybe I could, like, only take a portion of her money, but I will graciously accept her generous offer.
Just make sure to invite me to your wedding.
I absolutely will.
Yeah, because our rebels that we're funding could potentially gain, depending on how they do it, make money to further themselves. But it depends on how successful they are.
Yeah, hopefully there's some amount of recouped money at some point, but yes. So 90 boats at a 25 gold price point is 2,250 gold, which I assume we spend time with our boats master acquiring.
Yeah. Let me move the calendar some time, because this will take time.
Yeah.
I think
so 2,250 gold spent. Do you want to roll for, like, grain? I'm just gonna be like, hey, agriculture people, I'd like to buy some of your grain to, like, send to the refugees, because I'm gonna set up a camp for them, type of thing. I don't know if we need to roll for that, or if you can just, or if you're just gonna say, like, give me X price and we'll just call it done.
How much are you working with in terms of gold?
I have remaining I had a 2680 to start. I am 2250 down. I have 430 gold left. I want to spend 100 of it on the Ricardo's men, or no, Don Dingo's men, Dingo Don. So I have 330 gold left that could, if needed, go entirely to grain.
Give me 1 second. So it is going to be 600. No, that's times.
We could put 100 of that aside, Your Highness, for saboteur supplies.
I mean, yes, I'm just trying to figure out how much grain I need. I agree with you. I'd like to set some aside, but
Got it.
So 12
this is the amount I have total left to work
3
with.
times. How long are you wanting to supply them? Just off grain alone.
Well, I mean, they're the agricultural part, so I say grain because bread, but like, so when do we think the war is happening? Right, like this is within 2 weeks.
In
So,
April.
a month?
So like, I don't know, like if I gave them a month's worth, they're like set, right?
Well,
Or if
you'd
I
want,
make
like,
a
buffer,
build
too.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Assuming they'll be fishing and doing some things themselves. We're not.
I would assume that there's some fishing done at some point, yeah, but like,
Fishing, foraging, hunting.
yeah.
What's 7 times 6? Is that 38?
It's 42.
42.
42. It is a little bit out of your price range. It is roughly 400-ish gold. Do you guys have like private funds you can throw to this?
It's okay. Like, I think 6 weeks is a touch overkill, right? What if we set them up for a month, right? Like, take the buffer out of there.
Okay.
And we said, we expect you to, like, fish and be self-reliant to some extent.
That would bring.
Also, it would be
down-
way less than 600 men in a month.
This.
There's
There's something
that
to
would
be
bring
said
it
for
down
that.
to roughly 325.
I can do that. All right. We can afford that. So I will spend the 325.
Yeah. Originally, it
And
would
that-
be 369, but they have a slight surplus here, so I'm knocking off like 15% here.
All right. So I spend all of that, and between my favor with the mafia and the
Ringo Dingo.
and the dingo, we have grain, boats, weapons, and training. And Dingo's got a place in one of the aisles to like set all this up.
Yeah.
And so we spend our time buying boats, swinging by the mafia to get their weapons, talking to Dingo, introducing him to the refugees.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to, we give rousing speeches about the evils of Nyord and you know, drafting people against their will and how they're gonna fight back and like get people on our side, and we set them up with food and weapons and people to train them and all kinds of stuff.
Sounds
And
good.
boats to like, and we essentially create a little like militia that is like, Nyord is coming, they're gonna sail down this river towards our kingdom, and you, the members of Camp Dingo, are gonna like take them out, right? Or you're gonna sink them. You're gonna get your vengeance against these evil people that
You're gonna harass
robbed you of
them.
your homes.
Um,
Yeah.
They will.
How
do
much are
so.
torches?
Huh?
We're not gonna worry about torch price. They can make their own.
Okay. Okay.
They're gonna have a forest.
Arsonist
in a
is
month of
fine.
time or so.
I mean, at a certain point, we've spent 2,500 gold on them. Like, there's some miscellaneous stuff here,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
There's supplies here for a tent, and they're gonna be on a little island, setting up shop in a little culvert on the interior of this island, not in the big river. They're close to this waterway that's sort of covered by a pine tree, which none of the people on the thing can see. Sorry. Lots going on stream. This is going to take you a full 5 days to, like, organize, get people going, getting the initial camp set up. Likely sending Ursale to mitigate the bear population. That'll be rather upset.
Ursale just is the bear whisperer.
Yeah.
Just like... I love it.
He strodes from the rowboat and suplexes a bear. They all run.
He asserts himself as alpha bear of the cove.
Okay, Camp Dingo is set up on the 25th of March. Training will begin. Their outcome in whatever sort of confrontation will likely be remote or heard from remote. Party, are we done with Rien?
Assuming a Nyordian prince doesn't show up and say, howdy, partner, or his sister, then we are done.
I'd say in that 5 days, I would resummon Tove in whatever form he chooses to take this time and see what the hell happened to him.
Yeah, Tove chooses to be a frog this time. Going
That's
pro,
fair.
But while in between shifting states, we have established in the narrative that he can speak a little bit before he is bound in the flesh of mortal and material stuff. And this guy will be like, they fucking shot me out of the sky, bro. I got obliterated.
Did you get the letter delivered, or is that before?
I was going in, and they shot me.
Well,
You know how
I really
hard
appreciate you
it
trying.
fucking took to find them? Do you know how little information I had? And they shot me out of the sky! Stefro!
I'm
It
sorry. I'm so
hurt!
sorry, Tove. I'm sorry.
I have nerves endings! And then he goes, that's a frog.
We can still talk telepathically, I think. Is that how familiars work or no?
He is actually not that communicative, as his brain becomes that of a frog's.
Got it.
As a spirit, he is much more intelligent and actually has character, but in flesh, he is very limited.
I make sure he gets lots of flies. I don't know. I try to bribe my familiar again.
You try. Go ahead and
You tell him
subtract
all
the
about your-
incense for that.
Yeah, 10 gold.
Okay.
I think. Or is it 15? I'll check.
Before you head out, there is one bit of rumor that might catch Glynis, or maybe even Felix too, a little bit by surprise here. You hear that one of the princes, or a princess of the Felvia Galain, has outright been killed. In the Elithil Steppe, or north of it, between the bleeding line and the road, there is apparently some sort of off-the-map, here, I'll draw a big question mark, free settlement that actually had a palisade and wall, and some local folk hero fucking struck her down with a stick so hard that it, like, caved in her entire body, and completely shattered her, like, warband.
Remind me, is there more than one princess?
Yes.
Okay.
Somewhere between 4 and 11.
4 and 11
So-
children.
Right,
Yeah.
but there could be 10 boys and the one princess, right?
Yeah.
It's
But now
not
there's somewhere
impossible.
between 3 and 10.
Yes.
Fucking red,
Now there
man.
are between 3
True.
and 10.
Fucking base.
Someone just casually assassinated the princess.
No,
Not
while she
assassinated.
was attacking
Murdered.
their town, like, a folk hero
Oh.
was there
Okay.
and, like, beat her to death with a stick. That is how it's
So-
been described, and everyone is talking about it, essentially on your final day here.
I have two thoughts on the matter that I'll share with my party. One, the
Okay,
princess
we'll
that we
talk about
know Alyssa did not seem a warrior to me. She did not seem like she led men. She was more of a demure woman, at least presented as such, and let her brother do the meathead stuff. So I don't believe it to be our ally. Second, if it is our ally, a giant local folk hero that is massive and beats people with a stick sounds a lot like it could be Vidal. This could very well be some kind of measure to keep them safe. If news is that Alyssa is missing, I think there could be some fabrication involved. So I obviously hope that it is not the case that we lost an ally, but I am thinking that we likely need not worry ourselves that they may be crushed to a pulp.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
A lot of times about to get rated like twice as hard.
I wanted to point that
If it
out
is
because
true.
Glynis has made mention that he wanted to collect people specifically. And if he wanted to take a step towards that, potentially going through hostile terrain, even though, like, no one, like, this road is patrolled, but, like, nothing else between it. So, in theory, you could visit this place and potentially do some recruiting action. Or investigation
I do like
action.
recruiting. I
You want
do
the big
like
stick boy.
recruiting. Big
We
stick
need Stick
boy could
Boy.
definitely be part of
Yeah.
the crew. All right. You've piqued my interest. I understand what the point of this is now. When one of my party members, I'm gonna assume Yonsei's clever as shit, says what John says. I'm like, oh, you're right. We could collect him. Yonsei actually probably didn't. Yonsei wants to go home, I bet. Or Sala is like, you could collect him like a
There'd be a second
bear.
guy.
I just know Glynis is out looking for strong people to throw down with on his side.
Local
All right.
folk hero.
It's
up our
gonna take like a week to sidetrack and like add to our time. We've spent a week here negotiating. We spent 4 weeks worth of supplies, assuming that there might be buffer time needed for our people, so we can likely get back to Livistio before wartime if we make the trip, but it will cost us valuable time in the capital. Which I think we need to spend some time in. Do we go scratch my itch and try to recruit Big Stick Man?
I think it's well worth our time to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, we need to
Think about it
Felix
like
is in.
this. What would we be losing if we didn't have Big Stick Boy in the future?
I mean, who knows? That
Who
could be
knows?
Hercules,
See?
right?
Ricardo,
It sounds like-
sometime now.
Ricardo, also known as Macro, will, rather than going with Dingo and be the leader of the refugees, and, like, possibly, cause a schism within the leadership, he will instead offer to go with you and kind of lead you through the Elithil step and
That's
help you
perfect.
out.
Yeah, it sounds like my party is like into it when Glynis brings it up, and so when Glynis understands, like, oh, there's a folk hero here that hates Nyord, let's go get him. He's all in. Ricardo asked, like, helping out with that is awesome. Glynis like, things are coming up, Millhouse. I was briefly rich. I'm broke again. I'm gonna go get a friend. This is good.
That's the
Ricardo
Livistian way,
collected.
baby.
Okay. I will say that party sets out for Folk Hero on the 25th. Party sets out. I'm going to be doing experience right now, so everyone say your farewells to the stream. Or before that,
Farewell,
actually.
stream.
Wait, no, don't say
Bye-bye.
farewell. Do your reputation. I still need a video record.
Got it.
Oh yeah, obviously ambition to Snefril
What?
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
cowardice?
for getting himself waterboarded by those who shall not be named or
But
exist.
it's -1 to loyalty, though, because I outed.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a fair trade, is like plus ambition for like once, like, you did twist. A, you sought them out. B, once you got caught, you were like, my prince wants to see you, we need to do this thing, but also minus loyalty for being like, I'm a just be cool ratting everything out here. I think that's totally legit.
Yep, I'll take it. I was scared for my life. Snefru's a coward. He was bound up.
Oh, I like it. That's good.
I will say, John, Snefru will remember this.
I'm glad.
Fireballs will be coming eventually.
Yeah.
The Halfling
fuck
Mafia
Halfling
pissed off a wizard.
Mafia sucks. Organized crime sucks, guys.
It's great for
now.
the economy.
This is going to be a big payout, actually, for most of you. Is anyone close to level 5?
You would have to give me a lot of experience.
Okay.
Technically,
I'm pretty
I
close.
think like everyone is fairly close.
Level
Like-
1? I hope it's close. I hope you're past it, actually.
I think I am relatively close. Let me check.
It's like,
I would need like 4,041 experience, so probably.
You're
Okay.
just in luck.
Yeah,
That's exactly what we got.
I'm 500 short of.
Or no, I'm sorry, I did my math wrong. 3,041 experience.
Reputation call out. Felix, I think you deserve a point of servility.
Ooh.
Because you had your prince's back at every point, even jumping off a cliff, potentially.
I also want you to lose 1 ambition
For taking the ring off, yeah,
for
that's
taking
fair.
the ring off.
Sure.
Yeah. Although he did get told that the ring was trying to turn him into a dog, which kind of feels like maybe keeping it would have also been a lack of ambition. I don't know.
It was a cool
Maybe.
ring, though.
It was
It
a
was
cool
cool
ring.
Fair
that
enough.
would have given him lots of martial cool shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know?
So
It's fine.
I'm losing 1 armor class, right?
You're losing 1 ambition, and you're getting 1 in loyalty or servility.
Servility.
Yeah,
And
but
your armor
I'm also...
class is no longer boosted.
Oh yes, your AC goes down.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, just took care of that.
No, you're great.
Do I get ambition for taking out a loan to create my personal militia in the
Yeah,
like,
of
hinterlands?
course. Duh.
Gambled, took out a loan.
You found your rapscallion. It was a very ambitious episode for the prince.
I played a very ambitious game of cards. Alright, I'm up to
Alright.
8 ambition. That feels good.
So in Quest, we have started Camp Dingo. Well, not even started. We fully knocked out Camp Dingo
Yes.
organization. So that is a quest started and complete for the party. So good shit there. We will give you all a flat. This number.
I actually think I want to give Dizem a point of ambition because he would not lower himself to like take off his clerical robes, and he went to a like hell bar in double cleric robe with symbol on and started interrogating about the like military industrial complex of our enemies. He was just like, no, you're telling me all this like that was the most ostentatious display possible and like will be remembered, and it is definitely ambition.
Yeah.
I've never taken this cloak off, guys. Like, this is... the moment it's not on me is a dark moment for Daiso.
That's a dark
We had 0 combat, so I have got roleplay. We did a lot of great roleplay in the end today, fellas. We completed a quest, including dealing with the Halfling Mafia. We boated them, we fed them, we armed them, and we're training them. So that is like quadruple success, I would say, after, you know, recruiting them. And then we have started heading out deeper into potentially hostile territory to collect, potentially, a folk hero, which would be sick as shit. So
Yes,
I'm going
it
to
would.
award everyone a total of 550 experience, guys. Very nice job.
Woo.
Level 4. 5.
I think-
Nice.
I think I level up.
Very
I level
cool.
up too.
That
I'm
puts
going
me
to add
at
that to Ursale
6,000.
and Yonsei. who will also level up, I believe.
What was it? 500 and how many? Exactly?
550.
550. Right.
Yes.
Nice.
Level 5, 6500, right?
That sounds right.
6,500 for level 5.
Is it not 9,000?
No.
No, for level 5, it's 6,500.
Oh, I'm way closer to leveling than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought I had to get to 9,000. I would've been waiting for a
Urselnick
minute.
has leveled up.
Woo.
And
Snefru
so...
has leveled up.
This will put me 466.77 XP away.
I like the fraction. Have it.
1,050.
I was given a fraction a long time ago because I think I gave you 0.33 of my one experience point I got.
Wait, I can't remember. We take average on the HP, right?
We've been taking average, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. Beyonce is around 600 off.
Geez, what level 3 spell am I getting, guys?
I
Fireball,
wonder.
obviously.
The millisecond I get to level 5, Spirit Guardian is going right onto my list.
Yeah.
I'm also taking Rian's suggestion for Flaming Sphere.
Counter spell. Oh, flaming sphere.
How convenient that I destroyed the ring when I level up and I get like a new tiefling power.
We will do all the level up shenanigans off stream and ask you guys what you picked for those of you who leveled up. Chances are the fighter took a level in fighter and the wizard took a level in wizard. But for now, that's where we're going to end it. Now we can say goodbye. Say goodbye, everyone! Woo!
Bye, everyone!
Bye!
See ya!
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.
Never forget, they don't exist.
And don't tell Beyonce.
Don't tell you.